for the vision is yet for an appointed time. But at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry.
What Neuralink promises to do is to bridge from one part of the brain to the other part of the brain electronically. So that it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
And has the potential to be a miracle if it were to work.
Miracle.
Beyond just controlling devices, Neuralink has even more ambitious plans. Engineers at the company have suggested that the device could restore vision, even for those who have never experienced eyesight. Instead of connecting the brain to the eyes, Neuralink plans to create visual experiences directly in the brain. Using a camera attached to a patient's head, the device can stimulate neurons to produce clear images. This could be life-changing for individuals with visual impairments.
There's a lot that can be done to improve quality of life of individuals, and those will be steps along the way. And then ultimately, it's intended to address the risk, the existential risk associated with digital superintelligence. We will not be able to be smarter than a digital supercomputer. So therefore, if you cannot beat them, join them. And at least we want to have that option.
Perhaps more intriguing is the capacity of the brain-machine interface to connect brains to the cloud and all of its resources. In principle, a person's native intellect might thus be supplemented on demand by gaining access to cloud-based artificial intelligence. This has the potential to substantially increase human intellect.
Can you imagine that in 10 years when we are sitting here, we have an implant in our brains, and I can immediately feel, because you all will have it.
Meanwhile, an Elon Musk-led company is back in the news, and it's not Tesla or Twitter or SpaceX. Musk's biotechnology startup Neuralink began recruiting for its first human clinical trial on Tuesday. The company will offer brain implants to patients with paralysis as part of its PRIME study. PRIME stands for Precise Robotically Implanted Brain-Computer Interface. Qualifying patients with quadriplegia or ALS will have a chip inserted into their brain by a robot. The chip will be placed in the part of the brain that controls a person's intention to move. It will then record and send brain signals to an app. According to Neuralink, the goal of the initial 6-year-long trial is to, quote, grant people the ability to control a computer cursor or keyboard using their thoughts alone.
Switching gears very quickly, Neuralink is taking the next steps to make science fiction closer to reality. The brain implant startup led by Elon Musk is seeking out patients in its first clinical trial. Neuralink is asking for people with quadriplegia due to spinal cord injury or ALS. And Caroline, this is a story that caught your eye. It is fast moving. They have the FDA exemption for an investigational device, and they have a hospital on board to perform the procedure. What do you make of it?
Putting their hands up. I mean, ultimately, we know that there's been the view on animals. We're now looking at real life impact. This is, again, an Elon Musk company, of which, there's 6 or 7 now, but really pushing technology forward in a deeply sort of untrodden space.
Yeah.
And I think, again, it's just about the safety, the precautions that come into place, and ultimately who ends up driving forward this sort of technology.
The long-term promise is to reverse the impacts of severe brain and spinal injury. But in the first instance, Neuralink is talking about using the human brain with the implant to move a mouse cursor, right? This is the kind of small steps that we're taking. But it was really interesting to see them say, okay, let's get on with it.
Yeah, and I think in many ways, artificial intelligence, again, something that people are depending on in this particular area.
It's like a sci-fi movie. It's insane. But it's happening. It's a real thing.